3. All right. So, one of my all-time favorite, I always remember it bits from Phil Hendry, because we were talking about not being able to shout past having your microphone on mute, was Colonel Baker. He's an old, like, Greatest Generation veteran, like, cantankerous old man character that Phil Hendry plays all the characters on the show. That's the point of the show. He puts him on hold because he's being ridiculous or whatever. And then, like, after a few minutes of Colonel Baker being on hold, you just hear, and then he fought his way off of hold. Well, being on hold, somehow he was able to fight his way off of being on hold. And it's just one of the greatest. It's the kind of comedy that I absolutely adore, where it's incredibly stupid, but it follows an internal logic. It's just, I absolutely love it. I will never forget that. Like, the idea that this man is able to fight his way off of being on hold, to get onto a radio station live, because of just, the sheer grit that he has. Which kids nowadays, they don't have grit like they used to, Yeah.
They don't have grit. They don't understand good bits where you break metaphysics of the world.
Yeah, exactly. Do the kids get that these days?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Younger generations are probably better than everybody. Who knows?
That's I don't know. I think all generations.
Or just as shitty, most likely. Just as good, just as bad. I don't know.
Everybody's bad, and then also good. I don't know. Anyways, how's it going tonight, Josh?
I'm all right. I'm good.
All right.
Actually, yeah. Not drinking on this episode, so
okay.
A little different energy from last week.
That'll be good. It's early. It's early there in Koreatown.
That's what we call it.
That's what you guys call it there, right?
Yeah. When they sing the national anthem, it's like Ode to Koreatown. Yes. It's the translated version, of course. I mean, we speak Korean here still.
Sure. I don't know. What else you got going on over there? You got some good japes?
Japes?
Yeah, japes and japs. I don't know. That's probably not a good word to say.
Yeah, good.
Can't say that one.
Well, it's okay to say that in Korea, I suppose.
You guys are allowed to say that there?
Slurs against Japanese people? Oh yeah.
Oh, I guess that's
we teach
true,
them in school. No, I mean, not technically, but I mean, I can't tell you how many times. I haven't heard this too recently, but I've been here for like almost 12 years, and so many times I've heard just like little kids be like, just something like Japan bad, or Japan people are monkeys.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, like real dehumanizing, angry stuff that they picked up from somewhere, probably their parents or grandparents, right. More likely. I mean, it makes me realize it's like probably like a pretty typical dehumanizing trope around the world, sure. To some degree. If it's not monkey, it's like some other animal. Got a lot of that going on in modern day Israel at the moment.
Yeah.
Lots of vermin talk.
It's a vermin. It's unclean, and our monkey.
Insects.
It's like it's one step below humans. So it's like you're almost there. You know what I mean? It's like that almost makes it worse.
It's just basically anything not human. I feel like is the idea.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one great thing that unites us as human beings is dehumanizing each other with invoking other animals.
Yeah, for sure.
So this set of links here is a little weird, but we'll do what we can with it.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
And this is going to be a rant-free zone, despite the fact that my head is just full of nothing but fucking serious world news shit.
Yeah.
But this will be maybe a good way to get away from it for an hour or so.
Gonna keep it light, keep it breezy.
I still do want to make fun of Zelensky a little bit, but that'll just stay at the surface.
Sure.
All right, I guess we could just get into it then.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. All right. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm not. We're just doing the podcast. All right. Don't want a dehydrated mouth in the microphone.
No, it sounds bad from what
No, it's probably worse. It's almost worse to me than people like eating into the mic or something. I mean, I guess they're kind of the same thing, but because the eating into it's like, okay, I get it. You're eating. There's like a purpose to what you're doing at the moment. But when your mouth is just dry and your lips are smacking, it's like you can fix that easily.
Sure, you would think. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Well.
God,
my mind just went to the darkest places where it's not supposed to go. It was like
you don't have access to potable water in certain countries.
Yeah, I was just thinking of like those poor Palestinian podcasters with their smacking lip sounds.
They don't have. It's not a country, actually. Anyways.
All right, here we go. Right. Off to the races.
Off to the racists.
He walked out in the gray light and stood, and he saw for a brief moment the absolute truth of the world. The cold, relentless circling of the intestate earth. Darkness implacable. The blind dogs of the sun in their running. The crushing black vacuum of the universe. And somewhere 200 animals trembling like ground foxes in their cover. Borrowed time and borrowed world and borrowed eyes with which to sorrow it.
And lo, for the earth was empty of form, and void, and darkness was all over the face of the deep, and we said, look at that fucker dance.
Welcome to Heat Death of the Universe, a podcast that has a Die Hard with a Vengeance style explosive device attached to itself, which will be triggered if/when Speaker of the House Mike Johnson accesses anything he's marked as pornographic on his own digital devices. We may not be long for this world. It is 12:08 p.m. Wow, starting in the p.m. here. It's a first Sunday afternoon, November 12th. And this is Josh's voice here. Cohort to my digital front. Tim, how goes it?
It goes well. Just like Gavin Newsom. When I fuck pussy, the pussy turns red. And we are back on Skeet Death of the Pooniverse, the podcast where we review pornographic materials. How you doing tonight, J Tree?
J Tree, of course, canonical nickname.
Yes, that one's continuing. That's the one I like the most so far.
I also like it as Josh Tree, but yeah, J Tree's good. J Tree's a little more.
Yes. Have you heard the Turn Red song that's popular?
No, I didn't catch any of those references.
All right. Wow. For everyone else listening, you'll enjoy it. I'll send Josh the song or the video, and he'll appreciate it.
Ooh, what's the connection to Gavin Newsom?
Oh, because he was married to what's her name, Kimberly Guilfoyle, and then afterwards she turned Republican. Anyways, yeah.
Right.
Which I think is a good joke that's probably wasted on.
I get it now. It took me a second.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah.
Turn red, got it.
Many levels. Anyways, what do we got on the damn docket for the week, huh? Or in general, I guess. Well, I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
I mean, we've got a bunch of shit here about Republicans acting a fool, basically, I guess. GOP shenanigans,
Sure.
as it's labeled here.
Everyone loves that.
The first one that caught my eye, which it referenced just moments ago, is entitled "Weirdo Mike Johnson Admits He and His Son Monitor Each Other's Porn."
Yeah, I was going to mention that when you talked about it in your little intro bit there, that it's not just himself, but also his son.
Right. Well, I wanted the podcast to be the son role and to up the stakes with some explosives, but this article on Uprocks, it basically just kind of reports on this, and then it's just the rest of it is just like tons of screen grabs of tweets, which is real journalism, of course. No, I'm not going to support you, Uprocks. Get off my shit. Okay. The article begins with a quoting Cat Stevens. In Father and Son, Cat Stevens sings as a father telling his son to relax, take it easy, maybe find a girl to settle down with and marry. He must have left out the part about watching porn with his kid. Clever. So I don't think we've actually talked about this guy, and he is weird and worth talking about. And,
Johnson?
There was... Yeah.
I mean, the reason why we haven't talked about him is because, he came out of fucking nowhere.
Right. There was, it was sort of big news or whatever somewhat recently, but we opted not to talk about it because, I don't know. I was going to say he just seems so boring, but then this kind of, this kind of story popped up, and, more and more keeps coming out about him and his weird evangelical commitments and beliefs, and what was it? He adopted a kid who's basically an adult when he was in his 20s. Is that how the story went? Did you read about that?
No, I don't. That can't be true because that was the same as Gates. It can't be both of them, can it?
No, it is. It is. They've both done the same weird thing.
So Matt Gaetz and Mike, I guess they're both Republicans, so it's just a Republican move now.
I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was. Yeah, I read something that it was an interview with his son. His son is now 40 years old, and Mike Johnson's probably not that much older than that. So, yeah. Anyway, there's something weird and somewhat when you see someone so sexually repressed as him as well, and this weird evangelical guy, you can't help but feel a little suspicious about what were him and his wife doing to this poor kid. Although apparently, they put out this New York Post or whatever. It says Mike Johnson's son says he's thankful, for being taken out of a life of, misery or whatever in the ghetto. In any case, this porn thing is pretty funny. Pretty weird.
Well, I was gonna say that this is the only way that these weird ass Republicans can have kids that follow in their footsteps now, because normal kids are not interested in this shit and they don't like the fucking weird crazy politics, so they have to adopt immigrants who are from culturally more conservative countries, Latin American countries and stuff, and then be you're my son, you're my real son now, because you also believe in pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and being Catholic or whatever.
I think maybe that aligns more with the what the fuck can I think? Is his name also Matt Gaetz?
Yeah, it's Matt Gaetz.
That might align more with his situation, but this Mike Johnson guy, he has 3 or 4 biological kids after he adopted this adult in his 20s. Sure. That's the even weirder thing about it.
But are his kids weird Republicans like him? Are they God?
Yes, him and his son share
well,
porn monitoring accounts.
I mean, you make your kid do that. That doesn't mean that they're into it.
His kid is like an adult. He's 17. Oh. He's basically an adult.
Well, you can still make a 17-year-old do whatever you want, and I will. We were talking about that last week, about all the crazy stuff you can do with 17-year-olds. Anyways.
Yes, let's revisit that gold mine. So anyway, basically, they're like keeping each other accountable to not watch dirty things on the internet. The other thing that should just be said right off the bat, obviously, is that
I'm sorry,
this 17-year-old.
Sorry, I have to derail this for a second. I apologize. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't be on Twitter while we're recording, but like, literally right now as we're recording, and again, this will date this podcast, but Donald Trump is walking out to his seats at the UFC event that's happening right now as we're recording, and he gets a fucking standing ovation from the UFC crowd, and he's flanked by Dana White, Tucker Carlson, and Kid Rock as he's walking to his seats.
I mean, come America.
The fuck on. This is this is America for sure. There's some other, DJ TJ is there. I can see him looking like a real fucking loser, but Jesus Christ, the UFC crowd going crazy for Donald Trump, man.
Who's Dana White? I can't remember.
He was partial owner of UFC and is now like kind of the figurehead as like still owner. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some Trump stuff on the lineup here, but
for sure.
Kind of almost just to close out this Mike Johnson shit. Let's see. So I guess like some video surfaced. It's not even from that long ago, where he's talking about how. Oh yeah, here it is. Speaker Mike Johnson uses a software called Covenant Eyes. There's something very
that's good.
Eerie about that name.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Which he learned about at a Promise Keepers retreat. Now, this is different from Oath Keepers, and I can speak to what Promise Keepers is because my dad maybe still does it. If not, he used to a lot.
Oh man, I thought that because I knew that Mike Johnson has like his own proprietary weird Christian cult thing. But
Promise Keepers is like a bigger thing that's been around for a long time, I think, and it's basically just like it's also like genderized. It's like for men specifically, like it's like men to
there ain't
keep
nothing
promises
wrong with
to whatever, protect their families and uphold values, etc., etc. I believe that was the gist of it.
With that.
It's sort of just like, if I'm just like letting myself associate loosely here, it's also reminding me of those like daddy-daughter dances that always creeped me out. Not the daddy-daughter dance concept in general, I guess, but there were those particular religious ones that were like, they would literally, do you remember this shit? Maybe it still happens. It's like a big thing in the evangelical community where like daughters would get like a ring from their father that basically said, lock that pussy up until you're married. Like for now it's mine.
Right.
I mean, I'm obviously putting it in very crude terms for some sort of comedic effect, I guess, but like that's basic. That really is kind of what it breaks down to if you think about it. And this Mike Johnson thing is not all that far off from it, really. Except this is the father-son version of that. It's like a promise ring with your son, except it's on your phone, making sure that you don't sully your minds or your genitals with arousal, chafing. Here's what he said in the interview, which was like looks like, I don't know, maybe it was just a couple of years ago, maybe. It doesn't really matter. He said, it sends a report to your accountability partner. My accountability partner right now is Jack. Good choice of name for the story. My son, he's 17. So actually, he's even older now. But okay, he was 17 at the time. So he and I get a report about all the things that are on our phones, all of our devices, once a week. If anything objectionable comes up, your accountability partner gets an immediate notice. I'm proud to tell you, my son has got a clean slate. I hate to shatter your dreams of purity, Mike Johnson, but if your kid knows anything about the internet, he's getting around this weird like chastity belt you've put on his phone. I mean, yeah. I imagine it's not that hard to do, unless Covenant Eyes is like really intense and it's like can't be thwarted by VPNs or anything.
There's one thing I know about 17-year-old boys is they're gonna be jacking off. So he figured out a way to jack off. I can guarantee that.
Yeah. Just imagining like the desperation, like borrowing a friend's phone to jerk off. Yeah.
I mean, probably that wouldn't be that out of the question.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? This Uprocks article, maybe I took this from Uprocks unconsciously, because then the single line paragraph after what I just read was, of course his porn monitoring son is named Jack. Of course. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
The deeply odd video from last year. Okay, it's from last year. Inspired a lot of reactions. Okay, the reactions are stupid and predictable or whatever. This dude's weird is basically, and he is.
Of course, we all agree, we all get it, but you can be a little bit more entertaining about it.
A couple of decent memes people made about it, I guess, but
all right, I like that.
Anyway, all right, actually, this one's not bad. So every time Speaker Mike Johnson feels a little randy, his son's Apple Watch vibrates. It's kind of fun to think about.
That's a nice one.
This lad's sack is full to bursting. I can promise you that, said presumably British man named Luke on Twitter.
Don't love that.
Okay.
Don't love that one. I don't know why you needed to say it that way.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure we'll find out more funny / disturbing things about Mike Johnson as time goes on. But yeah, I had never heard of this man whatsoever. I mean, there's so many members of the House, I guess. It's like...
Sure, I always he is actually relatively low. He's only been in for a couple of years. He's not a long-term House.
Yeah, I guess it's like, why would you know all of them?
And in fact, I believe that I heard some statistic that he's like the shortest tenured Speaker of the House of all time.
Yes, I think that's true as well.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody like back in like 1834 or something, but yeah, just thinking of like the how you can be sort of anonymous within the House and even within the Senate. I forget that some of these people still are around. Like there was that like you must have seen like the protester who like why can't she basically approached Elizabeth Warren in a restaurant to be like, you know, will you take any principled stance on, you know, what's going on vis-a-vis Israel? And she's just like, I'm having dinner right now. She's like, 68 people in my family died. I'm trying to eat here. Ugh. But anyway, I was just like, oh, Elizabeth Warren exists. I forgot. I just assume like these people kind of like dissipate after a certain point once they like aren't relevant at all anymore. But and then Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Right? Well, she's a senator, so she's in the Senate still. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Wasserman Schultz, I always forget, is still around. Who, you know, she was like one of the most loathsome people back in the 2016 elections.
Yeah.
She was like the great.
Satan.
Yeah, the great Satan. I was going to say the great kibosher of Bernie Sanders. I don't know if you can be a kibosher. Put the kibosh on.
I think you can.
Yeah.
I also think it's not nice to use that term about towards Bernie Sanders or someone doing something to Bernie Sanders because it's like a Yiddish term, probably. So
Wasserman Schultz is Jewish too, I assume.
You're probably right. All right. I guess they're allowed to do it to each other.
And I'm allowed to do whatever I want.
Oh, that's fair.
Because I'm on this podcast. All right, moving on, I guess. Unless you have any burning thoughts about Mike Johnson.
No.
And he
Mike
may
Johnson
have something to say about...
Kind of nice name because it's like that joke, like Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson,
yeah, it does fit with that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, Mike Hunt.
Yeah, it fits into that vibe. So that's good. We like that.
So groping, vaping, Lauren Boebert.
We all love her.
She's getting dragged online because she posted this obviously hilariously posed photo of herself sitting at her desk with a phone. It says, "Thank you for calling the office of Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. How can I help you today? I love hearing from constituents on how I can amplify their voices as a member of Congress. And how can I help you?" Of course, turned into a lot of, this sums up perfectly the type of people that would take the time to, like, comment on something like this. The first one is just called Proud Democrat. I'm sure you're happy to give them a, quote, hand. Yeah, and it kind of goes on like that. They're actually, like, they're pretty bad insults. Like, I feel like, do better, you know? Like, this one is, like, reaching really, really hard for something funny. It just says, "We know you do reach around." Like, that's not a phrase. Rare talent.
Yeah.
And thank you. I mean, this one's good. Just posting a screen grab of the security footage of the guy grabbing her tit while they're watching Beetlejuice the musical. That one speaks for itself.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Maybe there's not
Beetlejuice
much to mine
musical,
here.
Right? It was a Beetlejuice musical. That's just crazy. But speaking of that, do you know anything about this? That they're doing like a Mean Girls remake, but it's a movie. They're doing like a film version of the musical.
What?
You know,
no, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I don't know much more about it, but it sounds really fucking stupid. So, you know, obviously it's got to be true.
So they adapted the mid 2000s movie Mean Girls into a
musical,
Broadway musical, and now it's being adapted back into a film from
they're
the
making
musical.
A movie based on the musical.
Huh? That sounds bad.
It sounds bad, and it sounds terrible. It's like Ouroboros of terrible media. That unfortunately is what has become of America at this point. So that's fun.
Yeah,
we like that.
The Killer was pretty good. The new Fincher movie.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, there's still some decent media out there. Although it is weird to see a David Fincher movie that begins with like a Netflix production. It's like, what's going? All right, I'll accept it.
You just gotta. That's it now. Netflix is one of the biggest production companies in the world, basically, at this point. So.
Yeah. I mean, I've accepted it. It's just like when I was watching that movie the other day, like it's still kind of like, I don't know, caught me off guard slightly. Even though I'm sitting there watching it on Netflix, so of course.
Right.
But
what do you expect?
Okay. Well, yeah, Lauren Boebert. There was another thing. I guess MTG, she's like alienating everyone around her, and one of the instances of that was she was basically just slut shaming Lauren, essentially.
I thought you were going to say, when
I mean,
you started saying alienate, the only thing I could think of was the fact that she looks like some weird alien that was sent here to the United States to kill people's boners by Mike Johnson or something. He doesn't want people jerking off. So he wants them to see.
Well, look, I implore you to go down. Let's just like get to this article now, I guess, then, because there's a very good rendition of her picture of her illustration, rather.
Ooh,
this
that's
Marjorie Taylor Greene
nightmare.
rages her way into a lonely, friendless corner.
I mean, that's not great. It's like AI. It doesn't even really. This picture, honestly, the person in this picture is better looking than the real MTG. So that's not good.
Yeah.
That looks like a normal person.
It's still not fun to look at. Maybe it's just her face is twisted into this horrible, angry convulsion.
Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of looks like Rocky Dennis, or like a hybrid of that and of them, and like one of the prosthetic monkeys from Planet of the Apes. If you shaved it, that's kind of what MTG looks like. This AI just looks like a lady who's mad, just like a normal lady who's mad.
You're right. It doesn't capture the true hideous essence of her mind, body, and soul. And there's really not much to say about this either. She's just kind of
I also want to apologize now for saying Rocky Dennis. I mean, yes, Rocky Dennis looked fucked up, but I thought that was just the character in the movie. But I think that movie was based on a real person, so I did not know that. But whatever. I guess it doesn't matter.
Wait, I don't even catch the reference.
The movie Mask. Have you ever
that's okay. That's what I thought you were gonna say, but I never knew the character's name. I just called him Mask.
Yeah. I didn't realize.
Yeah, that is based on a real person.
That's pretty funny, actually. That person is not looking so good.
That was the movie Azusa. That's where my sister went to college. We're just gonna start saying things.
That's nearby here. I've been there.
A Christian university, I believe, called Azusa University. Maybe. Yeah, she's just, she's kind of just shit talking everyone, and she's basically gone so far that like even her fellow Republicans kind of want nothing to do with her.
I mean, that's kind of where she's at. She can't really do anything because it's like, as you see, any of the like crazy QAnon teasing psychopath right-wing people, like they eventually get turned on because they can't, keep up the charade of being like just the most like anti-woke warrior on the side of the righteous forever, especially when they get into the thing, or they have to do what she's doing, which is she has to turn on everyone constantly, and she can never really have super like public friendships with anyone, or else she's just going to get called out on it. So that's basically where she's at. She's going to end up alienating everyone because that's the only way to keep her base behind her. But then she is like she does keep the base behind her and makes a bunch of money, right? That's the whole, the vig with Marjorie Taylor Greene is like somehow she's like the top fundraiser for the Republican Party right now. So it works. So as much as they can be upset with her, they need her.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't even really like. Yeah, I didn't even know that she's fundraising so intensely. But I wonder why. I mean, I don't know what she really has to offer. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I guess these people, like, I think I said before, like, I just kind of, I'd hear, like, these, like, little stories about them, like, trying to just drum up, like, controversy, and it always just seemed so transparently, like, look at me, like, no real ideology behind it, I don't think. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's just she makes the most money because she's the most pure, like, QAnon MAGA candidate that they have, so they support her because nobody else comes close to being as purely into all this bullshit as she is. So that's why,
yeah.
again,
I guess
like
maybe.
I said, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably also maybe one of the few people that Trump hasn't like cast out, right? I don't think
Right.
so, not yet at
No.
least.
No,
Like
he's
she's
never
still
said
like
anything bad about it.
she's a real loyal soldier still, right?
Yeah.
So I guess speaking of Donald, I mean, he's just been like endlessly grabbing headlines with this trial. This particular article I'm looking at from Business Insider, Chatty Trump on the witness stand is a tangent machine. Control him, judge begs his lawyers. What I found funny about like some of these descriptions of the trial, it just comes off like it's like the way that court proceedings are on like television or movies, but like even more cartoonish. Like, like just the way the judge is flipping out about Trump, like going off on these tangents, which are just hard not to laugh at. Let's see. The judge said, I beseech you to control him if you can. If you can't, I will. The judge, New York Supreme Court Justice Arthur Engoron, said just 40 minutes into Trump's testimony. 40 minutes? That's a long time. Jesus, how long do these people testify?
Too long.
Trump began testifying at 10 a.m., and within 15 minutes, his wide-ranging answers, invoking George Washington, his great book sales, and criticisms of the Democratic Party's, quote, weaponization of cases against him, prompted the judge to interrupt. No speeches, the judge told him. Well, all right, I read it wrong. Calmly at first. This is not a political rally, so he's whispering nicely. Within a half hour, the judge asked Trump's lead lawyer, Christopher Keiss, for the first of 3 times to control him. When defense lawyer Alina Habba told the judge that in presiding over the trial, it's his job to hear what the witness has to say, the judge shouted in response, "No, I'm not here to hear what he has to say. I'm here to hear him answer questions," he said. "Just questions and answers." Trump responds, "This is a very, very unfair trial. Very, very. And I hope the public is watching." Stricken, the judge cut in at another point in the morning after another non-responsive answer from the former president. It's just, it could kind of just goes on like that. Control your client, etc. And then the smartass lawyers respond to this like control your client thing with, "Your Honor, you're in charge of the courtroom." Just like, don't make me fucking. Do you think I can control this guy? Look at him.
Yeah, but that's
Comics Unleashed. Trump's unleashed.
That is really irresponsible thing for a lawyer to say, though, because that's basically saying that like you're imploring the judge to find your client in contempt, right?
Or yourself, even. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just like okay. Like, what are you even saying here? You want the judge to just throw this out? You know?
I think they just can't control themselves. They're getting like the Trump sort of bratty child mind virus.
Yeah. They've got literal Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, the literal version. Okay.
All right. What was that?
Well, just I'll read a little bit more from this.
Okay.
When Trump launched into a several sentence long answer about how his net worth estimates to banks were underestimated because he could have included his very substantial brand value, the judge cut in again. Mr. Wallace, did you ask for an essay on brand values? The judge asked the lawyer during the questioning. Kevin C. Wallace. Wallace noted that he had not. But in taking up his answer again, Trump persisted, saying that many big corporations have brand value. Coca-Cola has brand value, Trump said. That was a yes or no question. The judge cut in. Please answer yes or no.
He says, "Yes, I have brand value." That's the answer to the question.
I think whenever he gets cornered into like just answer yes or no, he just shakes his head and goes, "Very, very, very unfair. Very unfair what you're doing to me." But yeah. So then Trump's shitty little kids. There's been all this shit about courtroom sketches kind of recently around this trial, but there was also one with what was it, Sam Bankman-Fried.
I hope he's fried.
I can't believe the guy's name is Bankman. I keep like forgetting how so funny that is. But did you see that court sketch of him where he looks like?
No.
He looks like a superhero. Like this, whoever was drawing this shit drew him so unrealistically. It's very bizarre. Like trying to understand like the motivation behind it. But so Don Jr., he's mad about his courtroom sketch, and he actually brings up the Sam Bankman-Fried one, like, and he's like angry about, he's mad that he doesn't get a good sexy drawing of himself.
Oh, is this it? Yeah, this is pretty good. All right. I guess I'll give it to you. This is a pretty ridiculous looking drawing of him. Damn, there's a lot of ridiculous drawings of Sam Bankman-Fried, actually.
There was one in particular that went pretty viral or whatever, I think.
Like this one where it's like, it looks like he's got a screen with himself on it that he's looking at. That's a good one.
I don't think I saw that one. I just saw the one where he looks just completely unlike his real self. His like an extremely sculpted square jaw. Yeah.
This one he kind of looks like an old painting of like a feudal era Ronin samurai or something. He doesn't look like Sam Bankman-Fried at all. He looks like he should be in an anime. Yeah.
No, because I mean the real guy is just like this, like Pillsbury Doughboy, chinless fucking afro, like human afro.
I mean, okay, this Ivanka Trump one that I'm seeing looks actually this looks better than her, kind of. It looks good. She kind of looks more like a young Tara Reid. Was that the one I'm thinking of? Tara Patrick? No. Tara Reid, I think. No, that's not right. Which one's the actress?
Tara Reid is an actress. I mean, she's also the woman who accused Joe Biden of sexual assault. But that's a different person with the same name.
Okay, yes, that's what's throwing me off. So, yes. The Ivanka Trump one kind of looks like a young Tara Reid, or maybe Mina Servino. Is that another kind of...
yeah, I can see that. It also just seems like a bad drawing. Like, overall. Sure. Like, the proportions are wrong for, like, kind of everybody. Like, her neck is, like, 2 feet long in this picture I'm seeing.
Sure. The Don Jr., I mean, that's not a bad... That's pretty close,
Well, that's Trump exactly what he doesn't like about it.
Yeah, that's the problem. It looks too much like him. Eric Trump does not look like Eric Trump. Eric Trump looks like he would be an ex-basketball player turned coach. Is what he looks like. Like that looks like Larry Bird or something. That's that is not Eric Trump. But yeah. So
the headline on Don Jr. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you.
Don Jr. wanted his courtroom sketch to be, quote, sexy, and he's mad that the result made him look like, quote, Kermit the frickin' Frog.
That's pretty good. It's, again, the funniest part of that is just how much of a self-own it is, because that looks like him. Out of all of them, that's the one that looks the most like the guy.
the article that I'm looking at doesn't even have the picture posted in it, so I don't even think I've seen the actual picture yet. But it looks like there's a link here, maybe.
It's in a tweet by Bob Geiger, I think.
Anyway, it's okay if I don't see it right now. But so like some of this article is kind of funny. It's like let's see. His testimony, meaning Don Jr.'s testimony, was, of course, not without its moments of chaos. For one thing, the former president's eldest son seemed to hit on the courtroom sketch artist, asking her to make him look sexy. Alas, it didn't work. As caught by Newsweek after his courtroom appearance, Don Jr. took to Instagram to bemoan the decidedly non-sexy sketch that resulted. WTF, fat slob SBF... Sam Bankman-Fried gets to look like a superhero Zac Efron, and I look Kermit the frickin' spelled wrong frog in our courtroom drawings. He railed. How much cocaine was he on at this time? I imagine
not
a decent
enough.
amount.
I think not enough. But I did find it good.
He railed.
He railed. He literally was railing as.
Oh yeah. I walked right into that.
You did. I thought you did that on purpose. This
no, it's just the article.
I found this SBF courtroom drawing where he looks like John Belushi. Actually, pretty good one.
Man, they're really going all over the place because the one I'm thinking of, I think actually Don Jr.'s not so far off by saying superhero Zac Efron type in the one that I'm thinking of, but yeah, so he's mad that SBF is almost certainly going to jail for a significant amount of time. I'm pretty sure. At least that's the last I kind of like gleaned through headlines. He's like jealous that he gets the cool courtroom sketch while he's going to be like, walking free and wealthy for the rest of his life. But ain't that always the way with these types? Don Jr. had such high hopes too. Before the sketch by artist Jane Rosenberg was made public, he confirmed reports that he'd asked to be made to look hot, calling it 100% true story. He added, "If you can't have some fun, even in the midst of an insane persecution from a radical sociopath attorney general, when can you have fun?" Wise words, Don Jr.
Yeah, I mean, of course. When your dad is being indicted for some kind of insane fraud that could put him in jail for 100 years, why isn't that the time to be worrying about the courtroom sketch making you look hot?
This list towards the next line in this article, I'd forgot about. It said, "Meanwhile, Don Jr.'s older brother Eric had the temerity to claim he was just a normal blue-collar everyman." And there's a link to another article where Eric claims he's just a, quote, construction guy who pours concrete. Interesting delusions.
Yeah. I can never.
He said, "I'm not a money guy. I'm a construction guy."
He says, "I was never book smart. I was money smart." Makes me more intelligent. Anyways.
All these Republicans. This feels almost like a weird diversion from the normal sort of heat death of the universe lineup of articles, because like I think a lot of times just like stay away from, because it's just so easy to rip on Republicans, I guess. But I guess when they do like weird shit,
sure,
it could be worth bringing up. For example,
okay, what do we got?
Our main man DeSantis.
Oh,
fun
this is
talking
falls
about
under the QAnon category.
It's the continuation of QAnon. Yes, insert QAnon music here. Which I guess what would QAnon music be? It would just be the TrueAnon theme, which is just the Twin Peaks theme. So that's
Sure.
some more like entertainment Ouroboros, but the good kind.
Yeah.
So how does DeSantis one-up himself, or whatever? Try to stay relevant desperately. Headline: Unoriginal DeSantis now ripping off Vermin Loves Supreme. I had forgotten who this person was, Vermin Supreme, until clicking on this article. I couldn't remember.
Sure. And they feel it's kind of a stretch. They're like comparing it to Vermin, or saying he's ripping off Vermin Supreme is like was a stretch for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's pure clickbait. What this is Boing
Right.
Boing again.
Right.
Favorite website boingboing.net. He's ripping him off in the sense that he said if Trump can summon the balls to show up and debate, he'll wear one of those boots on his own head. Is that what it was?
That was it. And did you watch the video of him saying it? The clip of him saying it?
I didn't.
It's excruciating.
I guess I will now.
Watch it, yeah. Might as well. You want to throw the audio in, or
here? Should I share it to the chat?
If you want.
Should we watch this?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what these motherfuckers have to say.
Can we do this? Can we get this off the table first? I've been watching over the last, I don't know, maybe 10 days or so. And there are these gotcha people, these people who just want to sit there and they want to talk about how tall you are,
Talking
whether
about
you're
the
wearing
gotcha
boots
people.
with what do they call it? Heel extenders inside. I mean, Governor, the southern border
It
is
is
a
excruciating
disaster.
just to look at his
Terrorists are
face
coming across the border.
silently,
We
like
got
trying
two
to
wars that
smile.
we're kind of funding,
Just, like,
and they want to
grimacing.
talk about how tall you are. Sir,
the other guy's no good
respond,
too.
please.
Well, yeah, look, Eric, this is no time for foot fetishes. We've got
Oof.
serious problems as a country.
He had that locked and
We've
loaded.
got war in the Middle
No
East.
time for foot
We've got
fetishes.
terrorists coming across our own southern border. We have an American dream that's out of reach for millions of Americans because
is
of the
excruciating.
Biden inflation and the high energy prices.
It's
We've
only
got
halfway
schools
through
that are
a minute and a
indoctrinating
half
kids,
clip.
not educating
It's
kids.
bad.
We've got cities that are being overrun by
haven't gotten
crime.
to the best
And I
part
know
yet.
people want to try to divert onto other issues. I know Donald
Right
Trump
at
and a
this
lot of
point,
big
you could
people have been
just have like the
focusing, on
Charlie
things
Brown
like footwear.
parents,
I'll
like
tell you
wah
this,
wah 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 sound,
you know,
and then
Donald
like
Trump can summon the
the
balls
subtitle
to show
would
up to the
be
debate. I'll wear a boot on my head.
tired
this
talking
is a time
points.
for substance. This is a time for us to debate the issues that matter to the American
I'll wear a
people.
boot on my
And the
damn
question
head. That's
are
right,
you
I said
able to
damn.
fight for them, which we have done in Florida? Are you able to win those fights, which we have been able to do in Florida? And are you able to lead to a better tomorrow? We've done that in Florida,
The whole
and we'll
thing
do
was just a
that
fucking
for the
terrible
United
setup.
States of America.
We've completed the march to a better tomorrow in the state of Florida. Everything's fine there now.
Yeah, we fixed it. We fixed all the problems. We got to it, and now I'm going to do it for the rest of the country. The whole thing was obviously a complete setup. Like, even the premise and the way that the fucking anchor on Newsmax or whatever, like, it was just a complete, like, all right, we're having DeSantis on so he can say his thing about the debate or whatever. Okay, what am I doing? I'm just setting him up. Because, like, it wasn't a question. It was just a, like, so people are talking about the boot thing. Say something. That was like that was how he threw to him. Like,
And he was basically like, I feel your pain. He was editorializing, like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Yeah,
this is
what
all
a
bullshit.
silly-
How do you feel about this bullshit? Yeah, it was fucking incredible.
How do you think what were you're not sure how someone's going to respond to that? Yeah, obviously this is just
And then he opens
more
it up
bullshit.
with just a complete and utter, like, just a complete canned line. We had enough of these damn foot fetishes. Am I right? We don't need foot. We don't need a president who's hogging off to my tootsies. We're not trying to. This isn't Pulp Fiction in the White House.
people aren't fetishizing your feet, sir.
Right.
They're laughing
maybe,
at your sad, like, narcissism.
Right. It's like I mean, yes, it's the shoes.
And
but
if
it's not
anyone
about
has
the
a
feet.
foot fetish, it's him.
Yeah, you're the one trying to put boots on your head like a sick freak. But yeah, I mean, the people are not obsessed with your feet. They're obsessed with the fact that you're actually short, which is not related to that. But yeah. Either way, again, that article headline was clearly a stretch, but actually it was an even bigger stretch. The incredulity to which they stretched to set up that fucking moment there to be like, hey, people are saying stuff, and I think it's personally, I think it's a bunch of fucking malarkey. But what do you think? Jesus Christ, man.
All right. I think that's enough with this Republican bloc.
Yeah, fuck that
think.
bullshit. Let's get into.
I don't really.
some
The
real-
debate was fucking predictably stupid, as you can imagine. I mean, I didn't watch it.
There's no
but
fucking debates. It's just not happening. The debates are not happening. If Trump's not there, no debates. Sorry.
Yeah, no, there's also that. This big Trump-shaped hole in those debates, so to speak. I mean, this one, I put so many articles for some reason, but let's just say the monarchy is still fucking hilariously stupid in jolly old England town. King Charles is holding a scepter, wearing a crown, and making a dumb speech. I think the only sort of interesting thing,
Sure.
was what the article that said that, like, why Charles III will hate every word of his first king's speech. And it basically came down to, he's actually a very committed environmentalist. And, you know, the country he's, you know, nominally, symbolically in charge of is obviously not doing anything to combat climate disaster.
The fuck are they going to do anyway? That whole thing is just complete and utter. It's all a fucking dog and pony show. Number one, England, fuck off. No one cares. You guys don't have any control over anything. Number two, the fake ass royal family in England, you're definitely not doing jack shit. Like,
Yeah.
come the fuck on, man. You're a goddamn hood ornament on a Pinto or whatever. You are absolutely nothing. You are just you are zero, man. Oh, he's a real environmentalist. You know, he puts the cans in the bin and he takes them out to the street every week on trash day. He sure does. What the fuck does that mean? He's an environmentalist. He doesn't do. He's been the king or the prince. He's a part of the monarchy for fucking how long? And how come I haven't heard of him doing jack shit this whole time? But he's a real fervent fucking ecologist, not ecologist.
Environmentalist.
Environment. Fuck this. Fucking just absolute complete and utter fucking horse shit. This is just again worthless, man.
I think just the funniest thing about all of it to me is just the pictures, really. Like seeing some of the video, it's just like, and somebody I follow on Twitter, they summed up my feelings perfectly with the obvious but simple sentence. LOL, how is this goofy ass shit even real? Can British people please end this?
Yeah, just fuck off. What? This weird fucking freaky mummy man who eats fucking child cum to keep himself alive at this point. Like, why do I even have to know what his fucking thoughts are about anything, let alone that he's an environmentalist? Like,
the other thing that came up in a lot of the like articles that I didn't really read, but it just saw like thoughts in passing was like, of course, like his speech is just written by like not the prime minister, but whatever the team of people that actually runs the government, whatever, however you like sum that up in England. I'm trying to think of what is
cabal. I believe.
What's the street though? There's a street name. Like we say like things like Washington or the capital. I can't remember. Downing Street maybe.
Street, but I think that's wrong. I think that's a TV show.
I want to say Downing Street. Downing Street 10. I think that's it. Anyway, 10 Downing Street. Anyway, whatever. He looks ridiculous, and he made a dumb speech. And I guess speaking of ridiculous people with kind of symbolic power and nothing else, Volodymyr Zelensky back in the news. Two bits on this, I guess. They sent Mayor Pete to Ukraine to shake hands for a photo op with Zelensky, basically. It's like, what would the fucking transportation secretary have to offer? Like a war-ravaged nation's president. Like it almost seemed like they're really signaling heavily to him, like, it's over, buddy. Like, we're putting you out to pasture. Time to take you up to that farm upstate.
Yeah.
I
mean,
like, Mayor Pete's like the last thing you see before you get, 2 shots to the back of the head.
I mean, I guess it could go a lot of different ways, right? I get what you're saying there, but like, it also, like, now, I mean, the way that you said that, I'm just like, okay, because Mayo Pete is the operator, right? He's got the cold blood. He's fucking CIA asset, right? I mean, I get that. Also, the other side of the joke is like that he's fucking useless, and they have no belief. But then I'm like, I don't know. Is Mayor Pete like the fucking Poppy? Like, is he really? Because like, there is that thing that he's like a CIA cutout, and people kind of buy into it, right? Like, maybe he is a fucking cold-blooded... And that's the Poppy thing, too, where he fucking, like, he played the, like, kind of being a wet blanket, ineffective dork, so that, like, the real behind-the-scenes operator, cold-blooded fucking shark was kind of covered up by that. Like, is there any chance that Mayor Pete really is, like, actually, like, maneuvering behind the scenes? And they sent him there not even necessarily, like, to be like, oh, here's a token, whatever, but to be like, Mayor Pete's gonna, like, talk you off the cliff, basically, and just be like, hey, this is it. Like, you just got to accept it now. Eat shit. You're done. Possibly even being like, here are your options. You put a good face on this and get through it, or we will kill you. Like, America will put you down.
I think that's all entirely possible. I mean, I don't think I was just kind of kidding about the 2 shots to the back of the head. I mean, unless Zelensky,
yeah.
But I mean, I can't even imagine what kind of trouble he could actually cause the U.S. because, I mean, unless he's propped up, no one's gonna fucking hear him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's only getting his voice out there through U.S. channels. Like, so I mean, that kind of leads into the next thing, but like, I mean, the thing about Mayor Pete, like, you're at first I would want to say, like, I don't think he's really like a high level asset. But yeah, your point about like George H.W. is a good one, like a good comparison. But like, I don't know, he just doesn't strike me. I think maybe he had some sort of like connections to the security state to some degree, but I just don't imagine they're still there at this point, because he just seems so much more like, but then again, seems like it could all be an act, I suppose. But like, it seems like he's the kid who wanted to be president since he was like 5 years old, right? Like, that's like all he wants.
Right.
Like,
right.
And I feel the other thing I was going to say is, if it was like a sort of, here's the deal, Zelensky, like tough talk, I don't know if they would put that under the guise of the photo op, but then again, why not? I guess it's like it's a good cover, right? But I think mostly though, it was just them being like, we're not serious. Like, this is how unserious we are about your situation now. Here's Mayor Pete.
Right.
At least, I mean, that was also kind of the consensus, like online or whatever, about what it
I mean, I get that. That's
be,
probably what most people assume. They look at it and that's what you think. But like I said, I don't know. There could be more to it. There could be more going on in the background. Because Pete's a weird one. He's definitely an interesting character.
Oh, he's definitely fucking weird. Never would deny that. I just don't know. I don't know how actually connected he is. I mean, there's like interesting arguments. Like, you look at his path to national prominence or whatever. I just don't know how often the CIA is interested in like putting up presidential candidates. I don't know. I mean, I guess like, but then I guess that's the whole point of being like a sort of an asset and not an operator. Just anyway. But then so on I forget what TV show, some national U.S. show, Zelensky was being interviewed, and he just started like begging for money in the middle of the interview, which seemed sad and pathetic. He was basically like, okay, if you're not even going to give us money, at least give us a loan and we'll pay you back. Like, it was very desperate.
Good. It's pretty good.
And then I think he ended that interview by using the word fuck or fucking to refer to Putin. And like you could see how fucking satisfied he was with himself, like, because he did it in English. He's like, the interview was like half or like mostly him being translated, but then he would like insist on trying to speak English at certain points.
Nice.
Which were one of the points was the begging for money point, and then the like, we need to get these fucking Russians off our ass or whatever he said at the end. We
need to do fuck on them. Did he say that? Did he say we need to do fuck on them?
I want to make fuck to you, berserker.
Yes, that is the level of.
I am liking make fuck to you, berserker.
Back to the Venus universe.
Yeah,
the Venus universe is back. Anyway,
are you listening to invoke other podcasts? Are you listening to Guys? I assume you probably are.
Yeah, I listened to it most of the time.
Did you listen to the Kevin Smith Guys one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
it was pretty good.
Pretty good.
It was hilarious to me that Brian paid like, I think he went to like the $75 tier on Kevin Smith's Patreon
so that he could get a challenge coin. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Well, I think it's like the $250 level was like you get to wear one of his used hockey jerseys or some shit.
Right. There was like ones where you get to be in his movies and stuff.
Yeah. They were pointing out like or the co-host, I forget his name, but he was like
Chris James. I think.
This is
sounds
right. Yeah. Just like this is just a way to like not have to pay extras. Like you found a scam to get extras to pay you to be in your movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to do a couple more things, but like maybe keep this week a little shorter.
Yeah, why not? We're there. Might as well look something up, and then I was.
What looks anything look good on here?
This one, the story where Chris James got Alex Jones to fall for his Tucker AI. That was pretty good. I see this one that says sex, which does have my attention now.
It's not that great, actually. I mean,
fuck that. Well, we could always close it out with some good Israel chat, right? Everyone loves that.
Yeah, but that'll go on forever, and like I went out of my way to try to not bring that shit up this time, so sure. I'm gonna try to stick with that.
All right, we'll just skip it then, because there is that one thing.
Believe me, it'll probably be back next week.
It will. What is it? AI Seinfeld loop stuck. What do we got going on here?
Well, again, this is the my narrative thread compulsion. This is something Jason and I brought up before. It was this AI thing called Nothing Forever, which is just a really poorly CGI version of Seinfeld episodes that just like builds upon itself AI style and goes on infinitely. At least that's the idea. And apparently there was a moment where the loop broke down and people who were like watching it on Twitch or whatever, like, 10 people probably like got up in arms, like, what's happened? There's not much else to it. I just wanted to remind people that this thing, nothing, comma, forever, exists, because it's a funny idea to me. Oh, it also, that nothing forever thing also got like kind of canceled because the AI basically evolved to a point where Seinfeld made an anti-trans joke as a stand-up bit. And so people were like trying to cancel this AI program or something. I mean, I think it was very short-lived, but
yeah, because the AI program was dating an underage AI program, so they were going to cancel it. It was going to full Seinfeld. I'll just say that they should, probably continue that on. Everyone, I guess, is enjoying. I don't even fucking know. I guess there's not much to that one, huh?
I haven't really watched it yet. I've seen a few like clips on YouTube or something. It is kind of just but it's more like in concept. It's amusing to me, like this idea of like these really badly rendered Seinfeld characters just kind of standing around and like occasionally saying weird Seinfeldian things to each other. Something just kind of hilariously surreal about it to me.
I watched a little bit of like one that was like SpongeBob before. Whatever. It's just
the same concept, just with
yeah. It looked better, at least it was like rendered better, but either way, I don't know.
We should get this one just so I can get it out of my mind and off the list. Elon Musk with Wikipedia.
Oh, I mean, sure.
I mean, it's just a perfect example of who Elon Musk is in my mind. Just like the lamest internet troll.
What did he said that they needed to change, if he would give them $1 billion if they changed the name of the website to like Dick Fuck or something?
That's more edgy than what he came up with, but
right.
He says, I will give them $1 billion if they change their name to Dickopedia.
That sucks. That's not even funny. He should have said just they have to change the name of the website to Smegma. Like anything would have been funnier than that.
I mean, the whole reason was he was mad that like he thinks that his personal Wikipedia page is like I don't know, he had some like issues with it, I guess. I don't know. And he also got conspiratorial about Wikipedia in general.
Okay.
He's saying, he says, have you ever wondered why the Wikimedia Foundation wants so much money? It certainly isn't needed to operate Wikipedia. You could literally fit a copy of the entire text on your phone. How does that show that they don't need money to operate the website? Right. Okay. You can fit every fucking website on your phone. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So what's the money for? Inquiring minds want to know. And he also asked people to change his Wikipedia page to show that he did ask Wikipedia to change its name to Dickopedia for $1 billion.
Cool.
Edgy cool guy.
Has anyone ever mentioned that the reason why he changed the name of Twitter to X was because he wanted it to be named after the same number of X chromosomes that he has, which is just one? Because he's a woman. Has anyone said that?
Am I the first
person to ever say that? Hear that one? All right. I just wonder. I mean, me as a dude, if I was going to name the website, I would have called it XX because I got 2 X chromosomes because I'm a dude. For some reason, he wanted just one. I don't know.
I honestly don't. I never cared enough to find out what the reasoning was behind the name change.
He likes it. He just likes X.
He likes it.
He wanted to call PayPal X. He put X in one of his kids' names.
Is it one of the? Is it like that? It's like that extreme. It's like an extreme version of the like Sean Parker telling Mark Zuckerberg to drop the. It's cleaner that way on Facebook.
I mean, so his like fake reason when he did it was to say that like he was going to try to rebrand X to like be the everything app and turn it into like whatever there's like a Chinese app that's like you use it to do your bank and your messaging and everything. And he was saying like Twitter's going to be like that now. So that's why it's going to be X, because nobody wants to do their bank on Twitter. And then it's like, nobody wants to do their bank on X either, buddy. Like, I'm not trying to do my bank on anything that you own. That's the real answer. In fact, I'm not trying to do the bank at all. I keep all my money underneath my mattress. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. Get with it. I pulled up this article, and it is Homer has stopped strangling Bart in The Simpsons, and it's about time. And it's
that's what I was thinking about looking at.
Stuart Heritage, which I was going to say something not very nice about this picture of Stuart Heritage, and then I saw what website that this article was on, so I will leave it alone. But he looks like this kind of idiot that would write an article that says, Homer has stopped strangling Bart in The Simpsons, and it's about time. In the year 2023.
I know exactly what you mean, but I can't quite articulate it either.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe you can.
I could articulate it. I'm not going to, because then I will get my Twitter account banned. But yeah, like this guy looks like a fucking idiot. But like, number one, I'm sure that Homer has stopped strangling Bart for like a decade at this point. I'm sure. I would love to look.
They get into it in the article.
Okay, they do. But yeah, it has to have been quite a long time since he's done it.
So I guess they're in the 35th season now. Wrap your minds around that, elder millennials and older. Now it says Homer hasn't strangled Bart since season 31. An entire global pandemic has come and gone in the time since Homer last strangled Bart. This guy is so annoying. This article's so fucking obnoxious.
God damn, that fucking sucks. You gotta be kidding. What? It's everything that no one wants to hear about. The Simpsons, the fucking pandemic, child abuse. I'm not trying to read about any of this. Why is he? Why?
Just the headline alone, like, I was like, you see this kind of smug yet, let's say, inbred hill person looking guy below the headline.
Right.
And the it's about time is what makes it all, like, gives it all the smugness in the world.
Right.
Yeah, and he takes it so seriously. I did read the whole article, and like it ends with like his kids like being like, "Oh, it's lame that they're not going to strangle Bart anymore," or whatever. And he's like, I don't know. He just takes it way too seriously. Yeah, he keeps referring to it as like a vicious portrayal of child abuse and shit. Like, it's like,
Jesus Christ, slow news.
The thing that's okay, it is, yes, he and he's also like, and the other thing, it's not even very funny. It's like, yes, of course, like on its face it's not funny, but in the context of everything, what's funny is how ridiculous it is, how cartoonish it is. You know, this cartoon being very cartoonish. It's obviously also like even some sort of meta commentary on cartoon violence, like in a way. Like it's not condemning or promoting violence. It's just, I mean, to quote The Simpsons, it's just a bunch of hilarious shit happening. Who cares? Violence is fun. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, I should say. That's not a direct quote, but yeah. Anyway, this motherfucker doesn't get The Simpsons. Get out of here with your Guardian. Go fucking hang out with this bejeweled man you call the king. Get off my TV show.
God damn it. Well, much like The Simpsons, I think this podcast is over.
Well, The Simpsons is very much not over.
It should be.
Well, much like The Simpsons, we're coming into our 35th year.
Yes.
In this episode alone.
Oh man, this is just this article is brutal. This guy is brutal. I hate that fucking guy. Just looks like such a. It's not even just the way he looks, but like it is also like the article and the way he looks. Jesus, just what a fucking like a dweeb ass fucking weirdo creep motherfucker. God damn, dude. Like seriously, he just he looks. I think he's upset because probably he is what they based like the Barney character on. He looks like they drew Barney. They were drawing him, and he's mad his entire life because they use a time machine to find a picture of him now as a grown man in 2023 and draw him into the cartoon from the 80s. And his entire life, he's just seen himself on TV as a stumbling alcoholic loser. And that's why he's upset. Jeez, I hate this guy. Anyway.
Yeah, he says that the strangling bit undermined the basic premise of the entire show. Just picture everything I'm saying in a really like annoying posh British accent, because I can't do one. The strangulation gag was unyielding in its rigidity. Other running gags, like the prank calls to Mo, could evolve and change over the years, and yet, with staggeringly few exceptions, Homer always strangled Bart in the exact same way. It was an overdone catchphrase. Even if times hadn't changed, it would still be the weakest part of any episode. Okay.
How is he supposed to strangle him in a different way?
You just shouldn't at all, because it's vicious, and it undermines the fact that the Simpsons ultimately are a loving family, even if they have their problems.
But he's implying that like they could have updated, like they should have updated it, and that's why. I don't know. Whatever.
He says about his kids here too. I mentioned the strangulation development to my children, who hoover up episodes of The Simpsons in vast quantities on Disney+. At first, they were just as appalled as the worst recesses of Twitter. Oh, that's his other thing he's basically bitching about, is that people were bitching about the removal of this or whatever. I mean, which is also kind of a stupid angle to come from, I guess. It's like, The Simpsons has been bad for so much longer than it's been good, but it's a classic gag, my 8-year-old wailed. Why are they taking this away from us? I explained that it might not be very good for a TV show to depict scenes of a father strangling his children. Eventually they agreed. This sounds like one of those bullshit things people post online about, like, my kid came up to me and said, Why does Vladimir Putin want to kill everyone? Can't we all just be happy together, Mumsy?
Well, I know, but this one's weird because he made the kid sound cooler than him. The kid is like, Bart getting choked is sick. I like it. It fucks. And he's like, no, actually, it's bad.
True, but then he says that eventually they agreed also, but like just
eventually
the way
they
that, like,
just wanted him to shut the fuck up. They're like, Dad, you fucking suck. We're trying to move on.
It's hard to picture an 8-year-old saying it's a classic gag and why are they taking this away from us? It sounds too adult.
Right. Why
and
are
he's
they
putting
taking
it in quotation marks, so
yeah. Why are they taking it away from us is very funny. It does sound like
even
a child.
Classic gag. Like, I don't think 8-year-olds know the phrase classic gag.
That's classic gag, anyway. Dad. Classic gag. I wouldn't buy classic gag. But yeah, saying why are they taking this away from me about a stupid bit from a TV show does sound like something a moron would say. So that could be a child, or it could be this dumb fuck, because he does also look like the kind of idiot that would say something like that. So I don't know. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Here's the kids being cooler than him, though. Again, it ends with
nice.
Eventually they agreed, and then they suggested that Homer could punch Bart instead, or maybe throw him around a bit.
Yes.
So if Matt Groening happens to be reading, maybe this could be an acceptable way forward.
Yeah.
Oh, you cheeky bastard.
Maybe Homer could do some kind of tax fraud and pin it on Bart. Maybe Homer could take out credit cards in Bart's name and ruin his credit before he's an adult, like real parents do. Anyways,
Maybe Homer can ride the Lolita Express like Matt Groening did.
Oh, I was going to go there a little bit with some pedophilia, but I did not want to. But
I'm going there.
Get out, Bart. I'm pissed. Anyways,
I guess we could leave it there unless you got anything else.
I don't got nothing.
I did have the Promise Keepers website pulled up, and I just closed it.
That's not good. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that one bit. I don't like that one bit.
General recommendations.
Oh, sure.
You got anything in mind? Do you want to go first, or I can go?
Sure. I got these buttons. I got these buttons that my wife was going to throw away. They're Ghost World buttons. Check it out. Oh, you can't see it. Check it out. It's from the film
I can
Ghost
see it.
World.
Yeah,
I think
great
it's from
movie.
the movie, but maybe it's a comic book. I can't tell. Really,
Well,
anyways.
it was like a graphic novel first before
Sure.
the movie.
Sure. This was made in Japan. It's got yen price. It's got 1,000 yen on there.
Sweet
pretty cool. I would
Japanese
recommend
Ghost World
these.
pins.
Check out these Japanese Ghost World pens. I guess I'm saying pins. They're buttons. I would say check out the movie if you haven't seen it. It's pretty good. I like it. But I got these. I thought maybe I could try to sell them online, but I didn't see that they were all that expensive. So I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, that's my general recommendation. Buy these buttons from me if you want, or just watch the movie.
Stay tuned for more info on how you can purchase these buttons. I guess I'll recommend, since I went out of my way to not talk about the elephant in the room type current events today. I've been keeping up with a lot of that shit on a lot of my favorite, I guess, independent media channels, mostly through YouTube. And I've said some of them on the podcast before, but I figured I'd add a couple more that I frequent. There's this one I only recently started checking out in the last week called Novara Media, and they're one of the only ones of these that I keep up with that is not US based, I guess. It's a UK one, and despite all of the trash we've talked about people from England today on the episode, it's a very, very good one to keep up with. And there's another one called Mint Press, which I've been reading and listening to and watching videos of for a long time. And another one called AJ Plus, which is not Al Jazeera, but it's I don't know, it's sort of in a similar vein as all these left-wing rags that I frequent. So if you want to be angry and depressed more than you already are, keep up with all the hell and turmoil in the world on these media channels and more. Yeah, I think I mentioned 4 or 5 or something last week as well. But
Yeah.
That's all I've got for today. So, as always, or as I always say, you can't shout past mute. And as one of the great poet-philosophers of the 21st century once said, "If you can't support us financially, please give us loan and we pay you back." Farewell. Do pobaczenia. Slava Ukraina. Out. Bye.
This is no time for foot fetishes.
You keep saying you got something for me, something you call love, but confess you've been a messin' where you should have been a messin', and now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
I'll wear a boot on my head.
Yeah.
This is no time for foot fetishes.
You keep lying when you ought to be truthing. And you keep losing when you're not bad. And you keep saving when you ought to be shaking.
I'll wear a boot on my head.
Right is right, but you ain't been right yet.
This is no time for foot fetishes.
These boots made for walking.
I'll wear a boot on my
That's
head.
what they'll do. On one of these days, these boots.
I'll wear a boot on my head.
All over you.
This is no time for foot fetishes.
You keep playing where you shouldn't be playing.
This is no time for foot
Keep
fetishes.
thinking that you never get burned. I just found me a brand new box of matches, and when it knows, you ain't got time to learn. These boots are ready for walking, and that's just what they'll
I'll wear a boot on my head.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
This is no time for foot fetishes.
Are you ready, boots?
I'll wear a boot on my head.
Start walking.
I'll wear a boot on my head. Today I'm not doing very well. This is no time for foot fetishes. I'll wear a boot on my head.
The first voice recording was made in 1860. It was a 10-second fragment of the French folk song Au clair de la lune recorded by inventor Edward Leon Scott de Martinville. But who will make the final voice recording and when? What will it be? Who will hear it?
This is no time for foot fetishes.